Nobody wants you, not even the Clippers.
And if he wants to play ball again, he's got only one option: to play as a woman.
I'm here!
Juwanna Mann.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Juwanna Mann sequel hitting theaters sometime in the future, according to the star from the first movie, Miguel A. Nunez Jr. Now, $1 million question if you don't know. Hey, ABL, what is Juwanna Mann? Why is it a story? Great question. Glad you asked. Juwanna Mann is a movie that came out in 2002 about a man who was playing in male professional basketball, the equivalent of the NBA. And then he was suspended for acting the fool on and off the court. And he couldn't play basketball anymore. His lifestyle went down the tubes until he realized, hey, you know what? I may not be able to play as a man, but I could become a woman and play with the women. And I could become Michael Jordan. I could become the greatest female basketball player of all time. Now, that movie was ahead of its time, in my opinion, because back in 2002, the idea of biological XY men competing against women in their sports was just unheard of. It was like a thing that nobody would believe if you told them. 2002, I was 18 years old, graduating high school. I never would have thought I'd be seeing what I'm seeing right now today, as far as the Leah Thomases and Fallon Fox and et cetera, so on and so forth. Now, before I go any further, let's watch the impromptu interview that TMZ gave to Miguel A. Nunez Jr. about the possible sequel. I'm going to pause it at certain points because it's TMZ. They might want to try to copyright me. But if you want to see it in full without my commentary, link, as always, will be in the description box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
I got to know. Juwanna Mann was a classic back then. And I don't know if you can make it now.
So that's him right there, Miguel Nunez. He looks the same as he did back 20 years ago. So shout out to him for keeping himself in good health.
I know they do a lot of reboots, but could that one be rebooted? You know,
yes, we are going to do it. We are doing Juwanna Mann 2.
Really?
Yeah, I can't give you the details of it, but you're right. It was complicated. Because of issues now, and because of the fact that he was exposed. But I can't give away the story. We're working on that right now, but there will.
So that's real. This is it. And
so I can't wait. And to be clear, in the first movie, he was undercover pretending to be a woman, although he clearly was not. It's not quite the same as what's going on right now today, where people know exactly who you are, right? Leah Thomas competed as William Thomas and then went to the women's team at the same school. Everybody knew who he was. It wasn't like some kind of secret. It wasn't like the East Germans or anything like that. This was, it was much different than what's going on right now today.
And you think that WNBA players,
oh hell yeah,
and the LGBT community will embrace that?
Absolutely, 100%. They did the first one. They will definitely do it this one.
Wow. And will you reprise? Not obviously you won't.
I'll be Juwanna, but I won't be playing no basketball.
Probably gonna be the coach, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Yeah, I like that.
My niece said I can't do that part.
Well, this is big news. I didn't know that. This is beautiful.
Yes.
Wow. As far as
Now, I look forward to seeing this. I wonder who's going to be in it, who's going to be the main character. There was also like a love interest of Vivica Fox in the first one. I want to see how they do this thing and if they lean into the wokeness and support the wokeness, or if they're going to do what they did in the first one, which was to kind of lampoon it, to see that it was ridiculous for a biological XY male to compete against biological XX females.
WNBA goes. Who do you see as like the must-haves in this film?
You know what? We like in the first one we had the winning championship team girls. So I don't know how we're gonna do this one, but I'm sure we're gonna have some of them, and they all want to be involved. Draymond Green, I talked to him; he wants to be in it as well.
Oh wow, it's already gassing up. I love it. Is this rumor true that you, every time the Lakers get a championship ring, forever will get a championship ring?
Yeah, I got 7 of them right now, and I get one when they win. Dr. Buss is like my godfather.
Wow, that's crazy. I had no idea. LA is a funny place. LA is a very funny place. So every time the Lakers win a championship, he gets a ring. How does that really work? Okay, we can talk more about the Lakers and sports and everything else, but to The general conversation here was about Juwanna Mann Part 2. Again, I'll link to this clip in the description. And if you're on IG, link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But that's big news right there that Miguel A. Nunez Jr. broke at the airport, I suppose. I'm not sure what it is, LAX or somewhere. But that's very big news. Juwanna Mann Part 2. Personally, I can't wait. I want to see how they do it. The first one, again, it wasn't like he was transgender. It was like he was pretending to be a woman. Now, it's a movie, obviously. You're not going to really be able to have Shaquille O'Neal put a dress on and say that he's a woman and everybody's fooled. Like Clark Kent, Superman, it's like, okay, sir, I see through your glasses and your suit and your cape and whatnot. I know you're the same person. So it's not a realistic thing, but the concept behind it, as far as a man, a biological XY man going into biological XX women's spaces and dominating, that was the thing. And that's going on right now today in real life. No movies attached to it. And nobody's thinking that these guys are actually born biological XX women. They know what's going on. They call themselves transgender, and it's unfair. My thing is this: if you want to identify as transgender, then that's totally fine. Whatever you want to identify as an adult, then that's your business. If you want to identify as a 5-year-old, although you're 48 years old, and you drove trucks for 48 years of your 48 years, then go ahead, man. That's your prerogative. You're an adult. Go for it. Am I going to be involved in your nonsense? Am I going to be feeding you from a bottle? No, I am not, sir. I am not. Okay, I'm just not going to do it. But that's your choice. However, when you begin to interfere with other people's rights and their liberty and their ability to do what they want to do, that's when we got a problem. As in your biological XY male competing against biological XX females. And as I close, I want to say this. You're not really going to see a Juwanna Mann type scenario when you're talking about trans men. As I've said before, trans men also exist. These are biological XX females that now identify as men. They exist. Why don't you see them trying to compete against the men, the biological XYs? I don't know, maybe a 5'1", 115-pound woman with upper body strength that doesn't really exist. Maybe she can't really compete against these big 6'8" LeBron James type men. Just maybe there's no advantage. But the other way around, there is a physical advantage. You're talking about athletics. When you're talking about the Leah Thomas and people like this, the volleyball player that got injured, the swimmer that's dominating, these are things that aren't as, how can I say, as rigorous as, I don't know, football, soccer, basketball. But then when these XYs begin to compete against XXs in these types of sports, women have zero chance, no chance at all. You put Brittany Griner in the National Basketball Association, she has no chance. Against the women, she's going to dominate. Against the men, no chance. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Juwanna Mann Part 2 coming out very soon? Or they're working on it and it may come out very soon. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think the first one was ahead of its time and it's time for a new one. I hope they just poke fun at the idea of XXs competing against Ys or XYs competing against XXs. Biological XY men competing against biological XX women. Hopefully they make fun of it the same way they did in the first one. But we're going to see. You know, Hollywood in 2023, they may not be able to do that, but I hope they stick to the script and don't deviate much from the original plot. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.